Hey guys, this week is the holiest week in Christian culture. Almost 2,000 years ago, it said that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, allowed himself to be killed via crucifixion to redeem the sins of man. Oddly enough, this is known in English as Good Friday, and no one really knows why. Some say that it was a gradual mispronunciation of God's Friday. Some say it's from the German word Gut, and others say that it's actually supposed to be Good Friday, making it the ultimate example of turning lemons into lemonade. Either way, on the following Sunday, Jesus rose from the dead, said hi to his boys, and eventually ascended to heaven. And to mark this momentous event, a magical rabbit lays decorative eggs for us to find. Yeah, that makes sense. So, who is this Easter bunny? Well, first off, let's talk about Easter. We've already briefed on the biblical meaning, and unlike Christ's birthday, his death and resurrection was probably this time of year. We can cross-reference that with the Jewish Passover holiday. But why is Easter Easter? The answer is pagans. So many holidays and traditions have their roots in what we'd call paganism. Christmas, Halloween, April Fools, even Mother's Day. But what is a pagan? The word pagan comes from the Latin word paganus, meaning rural or country dweller. The term pagan came to mean anybody that didn't subscribe to one of the Abrahamic religions like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. In time, the old Roman mythology would be considered paganism, as well as any of the indigenous belief systems that the expanding Christianity would encounter. And that brings up the matter of cultural continuity. This means that it's easier to change cultural practices if they're similar to each other. Much like how Blu-ray players also play the old DVDs that you already have, many pagan traditions and practices were incorporated into Christianity as it looked to convert all of Europe. Example, if you liked the Roman holiday Saturnalia, you're gonna love the anachronistically placed Christmas. And if you like the festival celebrating the coming of spring and the German goddess Eostre, well, we have a celebration at about the same time that honors the rising of your new lord. Wait, what was that goddess's name? Yep, that's where the name comes from. It was never in the original scriptures, and if it's in your Bible, that's the equivalent of adding stormtroopers and having Greedo shoot first. Okay, so we got that part, but what does that have to do with a bunny that lays eggs? Well, first off, as far as scientists know, bunny rabbits and hares have never been what we call monotremes, or mammals that lay eggs. An example of a monotreme would be the platypus, and all monotremes today live either in New Guinea or, ironically enough, Australia. But we'll get to that in a little bit. It gets even odder when you realize that when most people think of the Easter Bunny, they think of him as a male figure. And this means either one of two things. A, either he's part seahorse, or B, he's a mixture of different pagan symbols. Spoiler alert, he's not a seahorse. Remember that the original pagan holiday celebrated the coming of spring and Eostre, a goddess of fertility. And for millenniums, the egg was the ultimate symbol of fertility. And as for the bunnies, or originally hares, can you think of a more fertile animal? They don't say, like rabbits, for people who go to the malt shop and then call it a night. By the way, I've never actually been to a malt shop, and it just sounds disgusting. And yes, I know that bunny rabbits and hares are two different animals, but I'm going to continue to use the terms interchangeably because that can't possibly be the misnaming straw that breaks your camel's back. Anyway, over time the Easter Bunny evolved, probably first in Germany in the form of Osterhaus, a magical hare that left beautiful colored eggs in the bonnets of good children. Yeah, as Dwight Schrute as that sounds, that's probably where it started, but why colored eggs? Probably just another pagan tradition that was used to celebrate the new colors that come along with spring, and the Christians decided to keep it. And even after the Protestant Reformation, one of the few Catholic traditions that German people kept was the eating of colored eggs. And all these traditions made their way to America when the Pennsylvania Dutch came over in the 1700s. Yeah, the Pennsylvania Dutch, they're not Dutch, they're Deutsch, as in Deutschland, as in, yeah, whatever, I'm American and I'm still gonna call it Germany. Their tradition spread, and this Sunday the Easter Bunny will come and deliver eggs and candy and joy to Christian children all around the world. Unless those children live in Australia, in which case the Easter Bunny can go f*** himself. In the land down under, Osterhaus is persona non grata. See, in 1859, English-born Thomas Austin was living in Victoria, Australia, and he got bored. He thought, why don't I import some wild rabbits, a species that never set its lucky feet on this continent before, so that I may shoot them for fun? Well, I guess he was a bad shot because a couple got away and within 20 years, 2 million acres had been eaten clean by the bunnies with no signs of stopping. They caused the worst drought in known Australian history, and since they were eating the grass that usually fed the livestock, they caused the death of 16 million sheep. In 1902 alone. It got so bad that the government started using biological warfare, releasing the myxomatosis virus that killed 99.9% of them. But as long as you have 2 bunnies left, you're gonna have plenty, and pretty soon their numbers were back into the hundreds of millions. But fret not for the little Aussie children, cause now they have the Easter bilby to deliver eggs and chocolate. A bilby is a marsupial native to Australia, and it kinda looks like a bunny and a fox at a one-night stand. Alright, it's time to sum it up. Number 1, if it's a fun tradition, it's probably pagan. Number 2, dyeing Easter eggs was probably not part of Martin Luther's 95 Theses. And number 3, in a land surrounded by monstrous sharks, covered with prehistoric crocodiles, and home to 10 of the 10 deadliest snakes in the world, the most destructive animal is Little Bunny Foo-Foo. Alright, that's all I got. Did you notice any of the Easter eggs in this video? Guess you may have to watch it again to find them. Happy Easter, be safe, and I'll see you next time. Little bunny foo-foo hopping through the outback. I'ma get my shotgun and blow off your head.